So which niches should you be completely avoiding when you're doing self-publishing? That's coming up right now. Hey everybody, I'm Mackie here for my self-publishing blueprint, and in today's video, I am going to do an updated video from a video I filmed way back in 2017 on which self-publishing, Kindle self-publishing niches you should be avoiding. Now, if you haven't watched that first video, I'll put a link to the cards so you can go watch it, but so much has changed since 2017 that it was only fitting to kind of film this video again and give you my thoughts on what has changed, why things have changed, and more importantly, what niches you don't want to be publishing in going forward with self-publishing. So the most important thing you want to take from this video is the niches, or the niche that you don't want to be publishing in, is non-existent. There's actually no bad niches to publish your books in. You can literally make money in any single niche that's on Amazon right now. However, the amount of money you can make and the level of difficulty is going to vary from niche to niche. And that's really what I want to kind of focus on and talk about a little bit more in this video. So going back to my previous video, I talked about self-help being a really bad niche to kind of get into. And the reason I was advising new self-publishers not to get into the self-help is large niches like self-help, weight loss, anything to do with food, you need to be very, very specific on who your customer is and exactly what are you bringing to the table with them. I did a book, it was my second book, and I targeted the keyword weight loss. That book, it made a little bit of money, but it does absolutely nothing now. And yes, it was my second book, but more importantly, I was trying to compete in one of the largest niches that's currently available on Amazon. I had to get very, very specific with my customer in order for that book to have any sort of chance. So if you want to go into a really large niche, we'll just keep using weight loss as an example. You don't want a very broad topic. You want to find out who exactly is your target customer that you're going to go after. Are you targeting men for weight loss, or maybe women for weight loss? Or specifically, are you looking to give women between 30 and 40 weight loss tips? Extremely specific. It might even be, this just came to me, weight loss for women who are working, or weight loss for women who are stay-at-home moms. Something very specific versus, weight loss for women. Do you see the difference there? When you're targeting that specific demographic or that specific audience, you're able to cater your book, you're able to cater your marketing, and you're able to kind of blank out all the other white noise that's in that specific niche and focus in on that one specific customer. And that is the most important thing you can do when you're looking at those very, very large in-demand niches. Now, should we be looking at a large niche or a small niche? Well, really, what's the difference, and what are some of the pros and cons for them both? If you think of a really small niche, for example, sewing, right? It's going to be a very small, specific niche. Can you make money with books that are going to be talking about sewing or how to sew or that type of stuff? I'm sure you can. Now, can you make a ton of money with it? Probably not. The demand for that niche is just going to be very, very small. It's going to put a bit of a cap on the amount of money you can make. I did a perfect example of this when I was creating my video game guidebooks, right? That niche was extremely small. We're talking, there were less than 40 books when I started in that niche. And that niche, it was really capping out at about $3,000 to $4,000 a month back then. It's even worse now. But those small niches, you have to have some sort of back-end product in order to sell to your customers. And that's one of the things I do love about small niches, is they're small, but your buyers are very passionate about what they're doing, right? If you've ever talked to people who are into sewing or crochet or any of that type of stuff, I'm not into that if you can tell from what I'm talking about, but they are very passionate and they're a very close-knit community. And so you're able to sell additional products to them because these are the people who are going to keep buying books from you over and over and over again. Another big tip, if you are gonna go into a smaller niche, is you have to have a high quality book. Low quality books just won't cut it in those type of niches. It only takes a couple bad reviews to completely tank your sales for that book. So you really have to spend the extra time, extra effort to get your book properly formatted, right? To ensure that you are answering the specific questions that your customers are looking for. Now, larger niches. What I love about larger niches is there's a ton of room. There's a ton of opportunities to make money in them. However, because they're large, because they're popular, that's gonna bring a ton of competition. Now, don't let competition scare you, first and foremost. Competition is good. Competition is healthy. Competition makes us all do better. You just have to be prepared to kind of fight that uphill battle in those larger niches. Now, can you make money as a brand new publisher in a large niche? 110%, right? But you just have to be, once again, you have to think differently, focus and zero in on a specific customer you want to solve, and don't get distracted with everything else that's going on out there, right? Those of you, I'm not a big fan of cookbooks or anything like that, but those of you doing that, you know, making 100 recipes for this or 200 recipes for this, you're going on about it all the wrong way. You have to get really specific with what does your customer want. You know, maybe it's not 100 recipes, it's 30 meals to make when you have no time as a mom. Something very specific, something very different. That's how you stand out in this day and age. So to wrap things up here, let me give you a couple final tips. Don't overcomplicate this process. Keep it simple. So produce 6 books in that niche at least to determine if that niche is going to be profitable and if you want to keep producing books in it. Because those 6 books, once you combine it and create a couple bundles, that's going to give you 8 to 10 products that are available for sale up on Amazon in that particular niche. And don't be afraid of the competition. Competition is a good thing. Like I said earlier, and most importantly, be different and stand out. This is always going to be your key to success. Don't do books that everybody else is doing. You have to be different. You have to stand out, because that is going to be the key to your success. Hey, hit me up in the comments if you have any further questions on this. Love to connect with you. And as always, a ton of links in the description section for this video. Until next time, everybody, I'm Emeka. Speak to y'all soon.